Maritime Made on Eastlink TV is presented in partnership with Nova Scotia Business Inc., novascotiabusiness.com.
Craft beer has come a long way since brew your own beer kits. And in 2017, we've seen a huge growth in the craft beer industry around the world. One of the leaders in the creation of brewhouses is located in Charlottetown, PEI. A brewhouse consists of the tanks and tools used to brew craft beer. DME Brewing Systems has been making brewhouses for over 25 years and has brewing systems in over 67 countries. Before any brewhouse is constructed, the engineering department needs to ensure it'll meet client requirements. With a variety of configurations to choose from, customers are able to order a brewing system that will fit all their needs. Using 3D software, the engineer creates a design plan to exact requirements. Once the design is complete, the client must sign off before construction begins.
The heart of any brewery is its equipment. These stainless steel Goliaths are used for everything from mash mixers to cold brew storage tanks. And although each tank is unique, the construction process remains very similar. Tanks consist of three parts: the head, or top, the shell, or middle, and the cone, or the bottom. All three parts start as giant sheets of stainless steel, from 8 to 20 feet in length. Each sheet is loaded onto a cutting table. The table uses a mixture of water, air, and sand. At 70,000 pounds per square inch to make short work of cutting these leg pieces, as well as other inventory items. Once the pieces are cut, larger items may need to be welded using the seam welder.
As the large sheets are only 4 feet wide, some pieces need to be seam welded to make them larger. The technician clamps the two pieces in the machine, and the welder then automatically welds the two pieces together. This cone is constructed of multiple pieces of steel. It's then rolled into shape using a giant roller system. The two edges are then welded together by hand. The edge that'll be connected to the shell is also knuckled or bent in order to fit correctly. The top will also be knuckled in order to be welded seamlessly to the shell. Heating and cooling is an important part of the beer making process. That means most tanks require 2 layers with insulation between them. Here we see a technician bending a ring using the ring roller.
The rib will act as a spacer between the inside and outside layers. Most tanks are also supported by legs. Here, the legs and braces are first cut to length on the horizontal bandsaw. They're then welded together to form the basic leg support structure. Even the foot pads are constructed on site and will allow the tanks to be easily leveled. Once the welding is complete, these legs will be glass beaded. Here, we see welders working on the head of the kettle. A variety of ports and valves are first welded. Then, workers polish all the welds on the inside of the tank, so they meet all food-grade specifications. As the tank begins to take shape, the cone, shell, and head are welded together. The robotic seam welder is used to make the final weld on these large tanks. The legs are also attached to the cone. Tanks that heat or cool the beer have a special steam jacket that is welded to the inner layer of the tank.
Once ready, 600 psi of water is used to inflate the steam jacket. Inflating creates a cavity between the tank and the jacket. The worker measures the inflation to ensure it meets requirements. This steam jacket can be filled with either cooling glycol or hot steam, depending on the tank's purpose or the stage of the beer-making process. Once the inner tank is complete, the outer layers are put into place and welded. All seams are then hand ground to a fine, smooth finish. The lauter tun or mash tanks are built in a separate area and require a number of specific parts, some of which are top secret. This vapor condenser will help clients save energy, a constant goal of DME. Once all the tanks are complete, it's time to build and assemble the rest of the brew house. Piping, stairs, and platforms are built and assembled on site. And the entire brew house is rough fit to ensure everything will work once delivered to the customer.
Each brew house is unique to its owner. Pipes and circular fittings are all welded on the orbital welder, which uses argon gas to ensure a clean weld on both sides of the fitting. Fittings are attached to the tanks. These fittings allow the brewmaster to pump glycol or steam into the steam jacket. Rivets are used to secure the metal washer that holds the fitting in place. Each brew house includes its own custom-built electronic control center. Here, all aspects of the brew process can be monitored and controlled, including pump speeds and heating and cooling temperatures. The control system can even be monitored and controlled remotely via the internet. Once the brew house is ready and approved for shipment, each piece is labeled, green tagged, and packaged for delivery.